Today, we are talking about an absolute giant in the world of self-improvement, Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. Seriously, this book was written all the way back in 1937, but you'd be amazed how its ideas are still buzzing around in business and entrepreneurship today. So, Hill started with this massive, almost audacious question. What if success isn't just luck or random chance? What if it's a formula, something you can actually learn and repeat? It's a question that he dedicated more than 20 years of his life to answering. And look, this wasn't some casual project. We're talking about a deep, systematic study of over 500 of the most powerful and successful people of his time. He really did the homework. And the people he studied? Well, they were the titans of the age. We're talking about Andrew Carnegie, who was actually the one who challenged him to do this study in the first place. Not to mention Henry Ford and Thomas Edison. He was literally getting inside the minds of the people who were building the modern world. So, what came out of all this research wasn't just a book about making money. No, it was a complete blueprint for achieving almost anything you want in life. And it's all built around 13 core principles. Let's get into them. All right, so the first and maybe most important idea is this. Everything, and when Hill says everything, he means everything, it all starts in your mind. Before you can achieve anything out there in the real world, you have to win the game inside your own head first. And the spark that lights the whole fire, it's desire. But hold on, Hill is super clear about this. This isn't just wishful thinking, like, I'd kind of like to be successful. He's talking about a white-hot, burning obsession, a definite goal that you chase with every ounce of your being. Now, once you have that burning desire, you have to back it up. He talks about faith, which is just that rock-solid, unshakable belief that you can and will get it done. Then there's autosuggestion, which is a fancy way of saying you need to consciously program your brain for success with positive affirmations. It all feeds into this powerful idea that your subconscious mind is this incredible engine and it will build whatever reality you tell it to. And that's really the secret to this book's staying power, isn't it? The world changes, technology changes, but the core human operating system, that doesn't. Mindset, discipline, behavior, that stuff is absolutely timeless. But let's be real. A great mindset is awesome, but it's not going to pay the bills on its own, right? You've got to have a plan to bring all those powerful thoughts crashing into reality. So here's his game plan for taking action. It kicks off with getting specialized knowledge, not just trivia, but the actual practical skills you need. Then you fire up your imagination, which he calls the workshop of the mind, to forge that knowledge into organized plans. From there, it's about making quick, firm decisions to avoid procrastination. And finally, and this is huge, you need relentless persistence because, let's be honest, failure is gonna happen. It's part of the process. I love this part. Hill actually breaks down imagination into two different types. First, there's synthetic imagination. That's what most of us use all day, every day, just remixing old ideas into new forms. But then there's creative imagination. That's the magic. That's the lightning strike of a brand new idea, that gut feeling that seems to come from nowhere. Okay, now we get to the really juicy stuff. The accelerators, the X factors, the things that Hill believed could really pour gasoline on the fire and supercharge your success. And this might be the most famous concept to come out of the entire book, the Mastermind Alliance. The idea is simple, but so powerful. When you get two or more people together, all focused on the same goal and working in harmony, you create this third, collective mind that's way more powerful than any one person could be on their own. To put it in today's language, it's basically your personal board of directors. It's your startup advisory board. It's that tight-knit crew that challenges you, supports you, and just makes you better. Now, this is where things get a little weirder. He talks about something called sex transmutation, which is basically his theory on channeling passionate, primal energy into your work instead of, well, other things. He also describes the brain as a kind of broadcasting station for thoughts and talks about the sixth sense, which is really just pure intuition. Yeah, these are definitely the parts of the book that get the most debate today. So that's the blueprint, but it all comes down to one massive question, right? This was written in the age of the Model T. Does any of this stuff still hold up in the age of AI and social media? Well, let's be balanced about it. The strengths are pretty clear. The ideas are grounded in real, powerful psychology, and they give you a real framework for action that you can use in any field. Now, the criticisms. Modern readers often find the focus on metaphysics a little much. The writing can feel a bit repetitive, and obviously, there are no examples from our digital world. But here's the bottom line. When you strip away all the old-timey language and the 1930s examples, what are you left with? You're left with a powerful mental and emotional foundation for success. And that is just as critical today as it was nearly a century ago. And for that reason, the final verdict from our source material is pretty clear. A resounding 5 out of 5 stars. An absolute classic for a reason. So the final takeaway is this. This is a life-changing book. But there's a catch. It only works if you apply it with real discipline. If you do, it has the power to totally transform your mindset, your work, and your self-belief. So, the question really isn't, does this old book still work? The real question is, what are you going to do with these ideas? We talked about desire, persistence, the mastermind. Your journey starts with picking just one step. So which one is it going to be?